Hello, I'm Karina Chin with karinascreations.com, and I'm going to show you how to make this really fun buckle card this week using the My Meadow stamp set. It's quite easy to do, and I hope that you will try a few of these on your own. First of all, I just wanted to talk about the stamp set. The stamp set is called My Meadow, and it's in the Occasions catalog. It's only $27 if you live in Canada, and you get these really fun images to play with. You get 24 stamps in total, and this is a perfect set if you like to create different backgrounds, or if you have kids who like to create, or I find I'm a big kid, so I just have a lot of fun with it too. So the actual stamp set looks like this. And I kind of consider it a builder set because you can just build whatever background or design that you want. There's a few extra samples in the catalog that look like this. This is a cute little wheelbarrow card that you can make with the same stamp set. And then at the bottom you can see this little kind of bubbling brook card, I would say, with a little bridge, and you have some little trees, so it's super cute as well. And if you live in Canada, I am a Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if you wanted to order the products at the end of the video, you can go to karinascreations.com, and I have all the pictures of the supplies that I used today, and you can just click on a picture and it'll take you to my stamping store. Okay, I think I'm ready to get started. So the first thing we're going to need to make this card is we need a card base, which is 5.5 inches by 7 3/4 of an inch. We're going to score that at 4 1/4. We're going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. We'll need a second piece of Whisper White cardstock that is 3 inches by 5 inches. We'll need a piece of Rococo Rose cardstock, which is 3 1/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And finally, we need one last piece of cardstock, which is 1 7/8 of an inch by 3 1/2 inches. And we're just going to score this side at 1/4 of an inch. So let's get started with that. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out my Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. If you need a paper trimmer, I highly recommend this one. I like the fact that it has ruler measurements on both sides of the score line. So I'm just going to line this up at 4 1/4. Or if you're not sure, you can go on the other side. Like I said, this is 3 1/2 inches long. So you just move it over to 1/4 of an inch, and then your score line is perfect. So I'm scoring this side at 3 1/4, or lining this side up at 1/4 of an inch. Either way, it all works. And then I'm going to take this piece of cardstock, and we're scoring the long side at 4 1/4 inches. Oh, did you see what I did? Oh my goodness, that is too funny. Okay, well, we're going to have to do that again. Let's see if this piece is long enough now. This is what not to do. So let's just pull this out. You're probably thinking I had this planned, and I can honestly tell you, no, I did not have it planned, but luckily I have lots of cardstock. So we'll just get another piece of Smoky Slate, and I'll show you the right way to do it. Okay, so like I said, we need 5 1/2 inches by 7 3/4. And watch how sharp this cutting blade is. It just cuts like butter. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just stop. Whenever I have a full piece of paper that's 11 inches by 5 1/2, I automatically cut it at 5 1/2 first, because that will give me 2 card bases. Okay, now that we've got this set, now I have to create a card with all the extra cardstock pieces. So like I said, we need 5 1/2 inches by 7 3/4. Okay, now we're ready to go. Now I'm going to score this piece at 4 1/4. And let's get the scoring blade, which is the light gray color. There we go. See, it's all fixed. And you can see how easy that was. It just took seconds. Okay, so I'm just going to have a seat here. So this is going to be my card front. We'll set that aside because first I think I'll show you how to do the stamping for this card. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the little gazebo image. Now you can see these are photopolymer stamp sets. And we're going to be using 6 colors of ink today. We're going to use Basic Gray, Soft Suede, Pear Pizzazz, Rococo Rose, Old Olive, and Pool Party. So let's start first of all with our Basic Gray. And I'm just going to open that up. And I'm going to stamp the gazebo image right about here towards the top of my card front. You can see it's got some highlighting and shading built right into the stamp. So I really like that. Okay, we're going to close this one up. The next thing I want to do is create a tree. Stamp a tree, I should say. Now, my tree is a little bit longer than my gazebo, so I need to create a really quick mask. And we'll turn this over like so, and then I will stamp my tree image. Now, an easy way to open or Stampin' Up! Ink pads is to put 2 thumbs at the top, and you want to pop it. So pop from the top. And the first time you get a brand new Stampin' Up! Ink pad, it's going to be a little bit stiff. And then after that, after a couple times, it does loosen up, I promise. Okay, let's put that away. Now I think we need to create some grass. Now this Stampin' Up! Stamp set has a bunch of grass type images. This would be a great grass stamp, this one, and then this one. So 1, 2, 3. I think this looks more like a stream or a bubbling brook or water. I honestly haven't played with this set that much. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now you see how this isn't popping yet? This is one of my brand new stamp sets, so I have to help it. Just a little bit. It's a little bit stiff, but that's okay. And I think I'm going to take my long grass image first. Which way do I want to do this? You can't really mess up this background because it's truly random. And then I think what I'll do is fill it in with this other. I just want to fill it in just a little bit. And now I'm going to have a little bunch of flowers randomly around my little garden scene that I'm creating. And then I think we need to get the Rococo Rose ink and add some flower on top of our stems that we just created. So let's do that. Isn't this pretty? And so fun to play with. Okay, now that looks a little too uniform for me, so I think I gotta add another bunch of little flowers here. Oh, I made them pink. That's okay. I think it's gonna get punched out by the buckle. So let's try this again, and it's now green. It's all gonna look good by the time it's done. Okay, what do you think? I think we need some little cherry blossoms or something along my tree. I live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and we've had quite a winter. I can't wait for spring to come. So I know we're not done winter yet. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm hopeful. Positive thoughts. Hopefully we'll get good weather. Okay, now I'm going to use Pool Party. You can see how easy that one opened. This is one of my older pads. You also get a bunch of little cloud backgrounds or cloud stamps with this set. I'm telling you, this is just so fun to create and to play with. Okay, I think I'm happy with this one. No, I changed my mind. I think we need to add some grass. There is a tiny little grass image stamp as well. Have you noticed how many blocks I have? I do a lot of card classes, and whenever I do my card class, I give everybody a kit like I just opened, and they need to be able to stamp, so that's why I have extra blocks. If you were just starting out with stamping, you only need 1 or 2 blocks, and you just clean it as you go and change the stamp up. Okay, so let's attach this Whisper White cardstock piece onto my Rococo Rose piece, like so. And then I'm going to repeat and put it on the front of my card. It's going to go on like this. Now I need to also stamp my inside. So while I've got everything inky, I am just going to pull this back out and create a little bit of ground. And then we'll just add a few more little bunches of flowers. What do you think? Easy. See how fast this is to create a card? Not a lot of people mail cards these days, so I get comments sometimes about how thankful people are to receive my cards in the mail. And I love getting them myself. I get so excited when I go to the post office box and it's not another bill, but a lovely card. Okay, I'm just going to close this up because I think I'm done with this now. Then I'll show you how quickly the card will go together. Well, I'm almost done, I should say. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside. Now, I need to create a slot for my buckle to go into. So I'm grabbing the classic label punch. I'm just putting this in as far as it will go, right about here. I'm punching through 3 layers of cardstock, so it's a little more stiff. I will show you this one quickly. This was made with Painted Poppy stamp set. This is another buckle card. This was easier to punch through because the beautiful designer series paper is a lot thinner. This is part of my stamp set of the month. I have a club where it's $30.95 a month, and you get the stamp set and 3 hand stamped cards, or you get the kits. So they got a real deal this month because the stamp set was $31. But the girls have been with me for so long, I like to treat everybody. Okay, so we've got that. Now we need to create our buckle part, but I thought the cardstock looked a little bit plain. So I'm going to pull in my die cutting machine, and I am using the brand new Coastal Wheel embossing folder just to give it a little bit of dimension on my buckle. So I'll just place it in here. I've already got my score line in there. And then I'm going to use a blue cutting plate. We do sell these with Stampin' Up, the blue cutting plate. So if you don't have one for your die cutting machine, I would highly, highly recommend it. Okay, that's done. And while this is, oh no, I'll put this back. I'll just stop for a second. One step at a time. So my score line got a little bit lost. I think it was here. Yes, it was. Okay, and I'm going to put some tear and tape adhesive on the back of this. You see the tear and tape adhesive is a little bit more than the 1/4 inch flap I did. So when I pull off this layer, I'll just take my finger and roll it back a little bit, but I'm not quite ready because I need to strategically place my buckle and make sure it's going to line up. I want to tuck this flap in behind the Whisper White cardstock. So let's see if I put this here, that I'm trying to center the buckle in the slit that I created. Then we'll lift this up, and I think that should be okay. Okay. Now I'll just pull this off. Uh-oh, now it wiggled. That's not good news, you guys. Okay, let's go like this. Actually, I don't really need to. I'm just lightly tucking it down just in case I moved it too much. No, it looks like it's still going to work. Okay, hooray. So now I'm just going to take some liquid glue. I could use snail adhesive again. I like the liquid glue because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room when I place it down on my cardstock. So I think I should be safe to put this down about here. Just make sure it's still going to go in. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, now I want to decorate my buckle. So I decided to use the So Sentimental bundle, which comes with these stamps And it also comes with these dies. I really like these dies because they are stitched scallop rectangles, which are just beautiful, and they all stack. You got a lot of dies in this set. And then you also get these fun 4 coordinating images. And I'm going to use this shape to die cut my sentiment. I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And my sentiment says, sending healing hugs. Now, can you notice there's no label on this? To be honest, I was being lazy. So I'll show you how you're supposed to put them together. So when you open it up, Stampin' Up! Sells rubber mount stamps as well as photopolymer stamps. This is photopolymer, which means you can see through it. It's clear. If you get one of these, however, you get your rubber image, and then I like to peel off the backing. If you don't need the label, you can just stick this onto a block. If you do want the label, what you do is take the label portion and you just remove these pieces, the kind of protective pieces. And then I like to make sure this is going the right direction. And then all I'm doing is matching this shape up with the label shape. And it's usually fairly straight when I put these together. And now this is ready to go, and it will stick on my block. So that's what I will do later with my sending hugs. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is pull up my die cutting machine again. And I'm going to die cut this out. And I need my die adapter, which looks like it has seen better days. Stampin' Up! Is supposed to be coming out with a new die cutting machine. I hope we get one in the next year because my poor die cutting machine has been well loved. We are selling the plastic plates, however, if you do need some replacement pads for your, this is the Sizzix Big Shot that we used to sell, and we do have those plates available. They're not shown in the catalog, but you can just leave me a message and I'll be happy to order a set for you and have it shipped to you. Okay, so that is the shape that I get when I use my die. So I think that's pretty cute. I'll just drop that. A little bit of a bang. And I like to put these back in my dies. I just bought, you can see this is just a magnetic sheet from the dollar store. This is how I like to store my dies. And then they're ready to go and I don't lose them. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is add some tear and tape adhesive down here. And one thing I love about Stampin' Up! Products is that everything coordinates. So my Rococo Rose cardstock matches the Rococo Rose ink and the Rococo Rose scalloped linen ribbon. So it's very easy for me to create a cute card that will coordinate and the colors look good together. So when I used to go to Michael's, I tried to cheap out and buy the Michael's paper. And honestly, my cards looked ugly because the paper didn't match the ink. It didn't match the ribbon. And when I switched over to Stampin' Up! Products, everything coordinated. And then everything looks super cute. So that's my tip if you are a new stamper. Get things that match. It is worth the extra money. And that is my card. So what do you think? Sending healing hugs. Like I said, if you want to order any of these products, you can just go to karinascreations.com, or this is actually my webpage. You can go directly there. If you're ordering less than $200, you can put in a hostess code. If you're ordering more than $200, you get to be your own hostess and you will get $20 in free product. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.